Good evening friends. Now I am going to discuss a topic about didoped polymer film for optoelectronic applications. In my presentations, first I am going to give an introduction about my research problem, and here I have chosen a materials, and in my presentations I am going to give the reason why I am choosing the particular materials for the optoelectronic applications. And later I will discuss the preparations and the characterization techniques which I have carried for my materials. Next slide. Why we need nonlinear optical materials? So what is nonlinear optics? Here in the early days, before the invention of laser, we used linear optics only. So after the invention of laser, the term nonlinear arises. The term nonlinear optical arises. The nonlinear optical materials are used for optical storage devices, optical communications, parametric amplifiers, and optical mixers. So before that, I would like to give some introductions about nonlinear optics. Next. So here I am having a nonlinear optical materials, and I am going to pump a red color light, that is laser light, to the nonlinear optical materials. So it is passing through the nonlinear optical materials. The nonlinear optical materials gets easily polarized, and it converts my red color light into green color light. See here, it gives, the nonlinear optical material gives green color light. But here we have to consider one thing. I have passed 4 beams of red color light to my nonlinear optical materials, but the output of nonlinear optical material, that is the one I have received only 1 green color light. So the conversion efficiency is very low. Here 4 photons are converted into 1 photons. So we have to concentrate how can we improve the conversion efficiency. For improving the conversion efficiency, we have to choose the appropriate materials for these conversions. Next. So one can choose any materials. We are having inorganic materials, also we are having organic materials. Inorganic materials having high strength. Unfortunately, its conversion efficiency is very low. But if you choose organic material, in the sense the conversion efficiency of the organic material is very high, unfortunately the thermal stability of the organic material is very poor. So organic materials having some advantages. Its frequency conversion efficiency is very high, and it also having some better laser damage threshold. Because of many hydrogen bonds are presented in the inorganic materials. Because of these hydrogen bonds, one can easily polarize these organic materials by passing an intense beam of laser. So if you got high value of polarization, means you can able to convert any frequencies. So organic material having this kind of property. Also it having tunable property. So one can decide the property or one can manipulate the property by molecular modeling. Also it having some poor disadvantages. As I told earlier, organic materials having poor strength. Next. So how can I want to improve the strength of the organic materials. How can I improve the strength of the organic materials? I can add organic materials to polymer materials, thereby I can increase the strength. So for improving the strength, I need polymer. Polymer having high strength and it having lightweight, also it is inexpensive one. So for that reason, I am going to add my organic materials to polymer. Next. Here I have chosen polyvinyl alcohol as a polymer. Why I have chosen this polyvinyl alcohol? Because polyvinyl alcohol gives negatively charged colloids when dissolved in waters, and this negatively charged colloids absorbs metallic cations. Also, the cost of PVA is very less, and one can create ultra-fine pore in the materials. Also, the tensile strength of the polymer is very high. For this reason, I have chosen polyamide alcohol here. Next. So, malachite green is my organic material. It is a dye, and its color is green. So, why I have chosen this malachite green? As I said earlier, if anyone can easily polarize the molecule, in the sense one can get high frequency conversions. Here, this molecule is having chromatic cation and anion in its structures. So, this malachite green structures having both cations and anions. So, if you pass an electromagnetic light through this organic material, in the sense through this malachite green, in the sense one can easily polarize this malachite green. Thereby, we can get high conversion efficiency. So, for that reason, I have chosen this malachite green and the polymer. Also, malachite green is, the cost of the malachite green is very low. It is already, we are applying malachite green in biological applications, and we are using the malachite green in forensic science also. So, it is readily available in the market. So, we can use this malachite green for optoelectronic applications. Next. So, I have to prepare film. How can I prepare film? Using the spin coating method, I can prepare this film. So, spin coating methods having some advantages. It is cheaper one. I can prepare film with various thickness from 100 nanometers to micrometers, and the thickness can be controlled by controlling the rotation of the platform. So, I can get a film with various thickness, and here the thickness is uniform one, but it also having some disadvantages. Here the substrate is fully coated, so we should concentrate about the patterning. Next. So, how can we prepare the film in spin coating using spin coating method? First, we have to dissolve the appropriate materials in the appropriate solvent, and after that I want to cast the solution in the substrate. Then I am going to place the substrate in the platform. So, the platform can be rotated by an electric motor. The speed can be varied from 1000 to 6000 RPM. So, if I poured or if I cast the solution in the substrate, in the sense, because of the centrifugal force, my liquids are spreaded in the substrate and it gets coated uniformly. Next. As I said earlier, here I have chosen an organic materials, nothing but a malachite green. So, I have to calculate my malachite green, whether I can use my malachite green for optoelectronic applications. For that purpose, I have used a computational software, and I have calculated the theoretical value of second order hyperpolarity and third order hyperpolarity for my organic molecule. So, this is the result of my calculations. Here you can find the total values with various frequencies. Next. This is the value of third order hyperpolarity calculated through the computation software, and you can find here the total third order polarity. The second order polarity value and the third order polarity value, theoretical value, recommends we can use these materials for better conversion efficient. We can use these materials for any optoelectronic applications. So, I can choose malachite green here. Next. So, as I told earlier, I have to add a small amount of malachite green to my polymer so that my polymer act as a bone and it will give strength to my organic materials. And after mixing of polymer and organic materials, that is malachite green, I have to coat that on my substrate and I have to verify whether my coated substrate having both malachite green and polymer. So for that I have to do some characterization. Here I have taken FTIR spectrum instead of XRD. So why I am not moving to XRD means all polymer materials are amorphous in nature. So if you took XRD spectrum for this coated film, in the sense you will get some noisy peak and we can't get enough information from that. So I moved from XRD to FTIR analysis. So here I have recorded the FTIR analysis. This peak shows the presence of malachite ion. The peak at 2000 shows the presence of malachite ion, and the peaks observed at 3400 wave numbers shows my coated substrate having polyvinyl alcohol. So I can confirm my coated surface having both polyvinyl alcohol and malachite green. Next. So here I have mainly concentrated on the optical properties of coated film, and I have recorded an optical I have recorded UV analysis here. So this is UV visible NIR spectrum, and here you can find a peak nearer to 200 nanometer, and next, it arises because of CN conjugations, and a peak observed near to 400 arises because of the multibonded nitrogen, and also a strong intense peak observed at 600 nanometer arises because of the chromatic cation. This strong peaks at 600 nanometer indicates my coated substrate is not suitable for second harmonic generations. Why? Because if you pump Nd:YAG laser to my materials, in the sense Nd:YAG laser having output of 1064 nanometers, and if second order conversions happens there, in the sense you will get 532 nanometers, but unfortunately this UV spectrum shows there is an absorption near to 532 nanometer. So we can't use this dye-doped polymer for nonlinear optical, second order nonlinear optical applications. So I want to move to third order nonlinear optical materials. Next. And this is another optical measurements, nothing but photoluminescence measurements. One can find the energy gap from this spectrum. Here I am having a peak nearer to 680 nanometers, and this is the excited peak. So using this peak I can able to find the energy gap. The energy gap of my material is around 1.8 electron volt, and this excited bands arises because of the interactions excitons. Next. So as I said earlier, my material is not suited for second order conversions. So I want to move to third order. I want to test whether my material is suited for third order optical property. For that purpose I have recorded this Z-scan technique. It is nothing but here I am going to detect the nonlinear transmissions with respect to thickness, and this spectrum reveals that I can use this substrate for third order optical conversions. Next. So in conclusions, the third order nonlinear optical studies reveals that real part of third order susceptibility is very high compared to the imaginary part of Chi3, that is third order susceptibility. So it reveals that there is a domination of optical nonlinear refraction there in my materials. And these optical studies reveals my materials can act as a good candidate for optoelectronic application.